accidentally discovered a masked intruder and was instantly terrified. By the time I realized what was happening, he had somehow already reached my front door. Since the door was unlocked, the intruder entered effortlessly, but by then I had vanished without a trace. However, the ball of yarn rolling across the floor immediately alerted the intruder that something was amiss. He followed the yarn trail to the stairs. It looked like I had run upstairs. Just then, another masked intruder entered the house. The first one pointed at the yarn, signaling that their target had gone upstairs. The two men crept forward quietly, following the trail into the bedroom. They assumed I was hiding under the bed, but when they lifted the sheets, there was nothing. They searched the entire room to no avail until one of them noticed movement behind the bathroom curtain. He raised his hammer and slowly approached. What he didn't know was, I had been waiting for him. I unleashed my homemade flamethrower, catching the intruder completely off guard. The second intruder charged at me, but I didn't panic. Using the fire as a threat, I managed to keep him at bay, forcing him to back away step by step. But when I turned to flee, the intruder behind me quickly closed in. In my panic, I tripped and tumbled violently down the stairs. The impact left me looking completely unconscious, but in reality, I was fully awake. When the intruder approached and kicked me to check, I showed no reaction at all, making him completely drop his guard. Seizing the opportunity, I fought back and escaped, but I was still a step too slow, trapped in a corner with nowhere to run. At that moment, I knew I couldn't provoke him further, so I reluctantly surrendered and let myself be tied up. 3 minutes later, I was bound and stuffed into a car. Just as the intruders were about to drive off to report back, a police car suddenly began following them. It turned out the car they had stolen had already been reported, attracting police attention. The intruders had no choice but to pull over, but these guys weren't going down without a fight. They were prepared to take on the cops. Meanwhile, I seized the moment to escape. I didn't want to stick around and get caught in the crossfire.